Hi guys, I'm super excited to be filming today's new releases because as you can tell on screen, I have about a million different things to show you guys. We have, I want to say, 4 main categories or little collections of releases I'm going to go over with you, including one main collection, one collab bundle / generic bundle. And then we're going to start with the kind of random releases. First, I'm going to go ahead and show you these script samplers for this quarter, which is almost ending. You only have a couple more weeks to get these fonts in like custom scripts. I do usually keep these specific script samplers in shop forever, I want to say, because I don't know, I just like giving you guys the opportunity to at least get a full selection of script samplers even after the limited edition scripts are no longer available, or fonts I should say. So these will remain in shop along with the previous ones, but we have font 1 for this quarter, which is this flowery font. Super cute. So the holes in the letters are little flowers, but then also the dots on like the I's and the J's are also little flowers too. So there's that, and then font 2 is this kind of thicker brush stroke one. And then font 3 is this handwriting one. And the scripts that are on these sheets kind of depend on how much space I have. So some of them have more than others. Like I think this one has like, sorry, cat is making a cameo. I think this one has like walk dog, take out trash, binge watch. I don't know if all the others have that. I don't think so. That one doesn't. That one has a couple of them. Yeah, we're not going to be able to avoid the cat being on the desk, so there she is. Alright, so that is the script samplers. Next, I added some more border overlays. This is 3 through 9. 1 and 2 are already in shop. I think I'm going to be reformatting 1, if not both of 1 and 2. They have gotten separate listings now. I do have one, like, full box overlay listing that has some of the like themed border ones, or like borders with like little sparkles around them, little confetti dots around them, stuff like that. So that is still in one listing. I will separate out like pretty much everything that I have in the basics collection into separate listings eventually, but right now I'm just focused on getting what I can done for the releases that I have scheduled. I might want to hire somebody for that admin work later, but I got super inspired to do a bunch more borders. I think based on, I was going through like my foil collection to destash it, and I saw some borders that were like inspiring to me, and then I like sketched out some more that I wanted to do based on that, and it just kind of progressed from there. So let me see. These are 3 through 9. I'm trying to make sure they're in the right order. I think for the most part they are in the right order. And every single border overlay on these sheets, so all 4 of them, are unique on each sheet. So that's 9 times 4. I think that's 36 unique border overlays that are available. If you do want just one of the borders on the whole sheet, just leave a note to seller and I can make that happen for you. But so first we have sheet 3, which is the top 2 have 2 different thicknesses of lines for the double border. I haven't ever done like a border inside a border before. So we have this version where the thicker line's on the outside, and then this version where the thicker line is on the inside. And then these bottom 2 are incorporating some of the like very classic photo corners. So this one, the photo corners are a little bit bigger and they're kind of built into the inner one. And then this one, they are a little bit smaller and they are kind of separated off from the inner one. So you can see that. And then this is sheet 4. I was feeling very Art Deco when I was designing these. Also ignore all the black spots. Those are oopsies. But yeah, this is very Art Deco. So it's a lot of like lines and squares and side lines and stuff like that. So there's version 1, version 2 with like the double border, version 3 with the square outlines, and then just one single line border, and then version 4 with the offset double border, and then these square outlines around that. So it's like very, very complicated and fancy. We're about to get even fancier because I think the next several sheets involve decorative corners. First I did this one, which is kind of like a variation on these first 2 with the photo corners. So here's a different version with the photo corners that actually encapsulate both of the border lines. And then we start getting into the decorative corners. So I think the ones on this sheet are all decorative corners that I have on the decorative corners sheet in my shop. They're just incorporated in various ways. This one kind of encapsulates and replaces both of the border lines. This one is kind of just sitting inside the inner one on all four sides. This one encapsulates and replaces the border lines on just those two corners. So that is sheet 5, I believe. Sheet 6, these are 1, 2, I think these 2 are new border or new corners, and then these 2 are ones that are already in shop. So this one replaces the inner line in those 2 corners, and then this one replaces the inner line in all 4 corners. And then these top 2 are new. They're like a lot more intricate foil designs. So they kind of sit on the inner line in those 2 corners, and then this one is just layered on top, so it's kind of like intertwining around mostly the inner line, but some on the outer line. Alright, and then the next sheet is kind of the same sort of situation. Again, these are all new corners. So this one is another like kind of florally design that just intertwines around the borders. This one replaces the corners on the inner line. This one is super fancy, and it actually replaces the corners on both of the lines. And then this one replaces the corner on the inner line. I just love how fancy these are. Yeah, if I put this cat down, she's just gonna jump right back up. She knows when it's filming time. That's the time that she needs to have all the attention, apparently. That's what she's decided. I think this is sheet 8. So that was 7. This is 8. You may recognize inspiration from this from one of the full box overlays on my Bookish Christmas foil bundle exclusive. One of the boxes had like some confetti dots in the border. So I kind of like went crazy with that. And all of these are kind of a variation of that. So we have 2 that are just one single border, and they have like a random number of confetti dots in various places. This one has just 1, 2, 3, and then this one has 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here's a double border with the confetti dots on the inside line, and here's the double border with 3 confetti dots on the outside line, or 3 clusters of them. I like that one a lot. This cat is too cute, even when she's being a little devil and invading my video. Alright, this is sheet 9, I believe. I'm pretty sure this was sheet 9. So this overlay was inspired by the big box overlay in the Lady Foil Bundle exclusive collab. Basically it's the same design, but it's just formatted for a full box instead of a big box. So we have double offset border, and then the photo corners are in the opposite corners of the offset. And then we have, I just kind of like went crazy with the others. So we have the mirror image of that one. And then these 2 are kind of similar to each other as well, but they're a little different. So there's like a little square on top of each photo corner. And let's see, that one, the photo corner is baked in, and then this one, the photo corner is separated out, and then each opposite square is filled in. So that is sheet 9, and that is all 6 of the new border overlay sheets that are now in shop. Okay, and then next we have something very exclusive. Ugh, this cat is now becoming the centerpiece of the video, so she gets to go away. Did I say exclusive before I meant exciting? This next release set is very exciting because this is the first of my doodle releases in shop. I have not released doodles forever, even though doodles were the initial purpose of me starting a shop. I was going to do like pretty much just doodles, but then I decided I can't really draw doodles, and it took me like, how many years has it been? It's been about 3 years, I think. Pretty sure it's been 3 years. Or has it been 2 years? No, I think it's only been 2 years since I started my shop, and I'm finally now able to draw doodles. So I'm going to be releasing them in kind of like sets of just one doodle and variations on that doodle, because I do a ton of variations, and this is probably not even all the variations I could possibly do, because I intend to do a lot more color schemes. But I just wanted to start with something very basic. So this is all of the cell phone releases. One of these in here actually is just personal for me. I just wanted to kind of show you because I think it's fun. So we are going to start with the most basic imaginable, which is rainbow cell phones with the white screen. So this is like very minimal. The only pop of color is on the like outside of these cell phones. There's a little close-up right there. You can see I even put the buttons on the side. And these sheets are, by the way, most of these are printed on premium matte paper, but they will be available in both premium matte and glossy on the website. They both have pretty equal print quality, I would say, with my printer. So, yep. I think I prefer premium matte, though. But yeah, so this is my rainbow. As you can see, we have some reds, oranges, yellow. This is 6 by 6. So this, I think, is the expanded palette. So this is the most amount of colors that I have available in my rainbow. Depending on the size of the icon, if it's a bigger icon, sometimes you'll have the limited palette or the base palette. But this is the expanded, so there's 36 different colors. So we have going to the yellows, the greens, and then the blues, and then the purples, and then pinks, and then browns, and then black, white, and grayscale at the bottom. So there's the cell phones with the white screen, and then here's the rainbow cell phones with the black screen with the little like shine on it. So these are the more realistic ones. This is great if you have like a really light or pastel spread and you do not want a bunch of black in it. So a white center for that, and then a black center for maybe a darker spread. And then if you want just like a very classic option, here we have them with the like shaded rainbow color in the middle. So here's like the dark red outline, and then there's like a lighter red in the center. So and that is also kind of an easier way to tell my rainbow palette. But yeah. So there's 3 kind of main designs. And then next we have some of the color schemes. So you can get the colored designs, or like the middle color colored in grayscale. So we have white, and then cool tone light grays, and then a warm tone gray, and then we have some darker grays, and then almost gray, and then that one is like the black version. You can still see the detail pretty well, even on the black one. And then the pink one, for some reason, is the only one that I printed in glossy, but you can kind of see that it's pretty much the exact same print quality there. So yeah, this is the shades of pink, which I personally am just a pink lover, so I wanted a sheet of just shades of pink. I might do shades of other colors going forward. But yeah, we have several shades of pink, and then we have the specific like phone activities. So this one is video call. So this is like very generic, so I didn't want to put like a person in there because, you know, I don't know who you're video calling. So this is just like a little person icon. And then there's like the person icon that represents you in the top corner. So that's the rainbow version of that. And then we have just calling. So here's that one. And then we have texting. And there's like little white lines for the text in there. That's kind of fun. And then this one is the one I made just for myself, which is there's like cards on screen, and they are to represent playing Adventure Time Card Wars, which is my favorite mobile game, based on my favorite show, Adventure Time. So these are just for me personally, but all these other ones are listed. So yeah, that is the cell phone doodle line. I have several others ready to go. I have iPads almost ready to go. I forget what else I have. I have like rakes and leaves just randomly. I have some stuff that like I needed for myself personally. So those will be coming. Oh, I have a bunch of pets too. I think I spent more time on the pets line than anything else, but pets are coming. All right. So next, I think we'll go ahead and get into the collab, which is my first collab with April of Geeky Giraffe Design. I don't have the whole kit printed out because the way she had formatted it wasn't quite compatible with my silhouettes, just because of the cut lines. Essentially, I knew my silhouettes wouldn't be able to cut that exact. So I think she's reformatting them, so I'm going to go ahead and wait for that. But I just wanted to print off the first page just so you can kind of like see what the colors are and what the art looks like. I think this is Nella of Clip Art Kits who did this art, and of course it is amazing because of that. So we have Oh yeah, first of all, let me tell you the theme. It is a baseball theme, which is a very niche sports kit, but I love it. I'm gonna find a use for this, even though I don't really play baseball. Our kids in the house love baseball, like our kid and then our friend's kid who's staying with us. They love baseball and softball, so I'm sure I'll be able to use this for a game. Even though the season ended, I'm sure I'll save it for the next one. But yeah, so the art is very pretty. And then I did kind of take apart the things in this sheet that I am not going to use already. So like there's some blank spots there, but that's okay. You can clearly see on her website what the full kit looks like. Her kits are enormous. They are only digital or printable at the moment, but they include so many pages. And then my printer ran out of ink for the bottom half of that, so just ignore that. But yeah, this is just to kind of give you guys an idea. And there's so many full boxes as well that are available. By the way, she and I are talking about a partnership where I will be able to offer this kit as a printed kit in my shop for those who are not printable customers. So we'll see how soon we'll be able to do that. But my part of it was the Collab foil bundle, which I did print off in red foil because I think that's one of the best options. If you want to bring out this blue, you could do a blue option. There's like one box where like the backdrop of the field has like a dark blue that's like perfectly a match to the regular blue foil in my shop. And you can also do Patriot red, white, or red, silver, and blue. But red is a safe bet for sure. So as usual, this foil bundle exclusive is a perfect match for the kit. So all of the full boxes, at least the ones on the first page, correspond to all of the full boxes on the first page of the kit. So, but a lot of them can be used interchangeably as well. But this was just kind of what I thought would look good. So we have this little love quote with like the little baseball bat there and the ball for the heart, for the O. So that one can be used over that flat lay. And then the double box scene is this batter and then the ball with like flames coming off of it. And that's part of the border. I haven't done one in that style, like a themed collection yet, so I'm excited. And then this one I thought was really cool. I did a combination of like corners with confetti around the other corners. So like just these two corners have like icons in them, but then the rest is just confetti all around, which I thought was really fun. And then this is like what the confetti actually looks like. So we have a baseball cap, an actual helmet, a trophy. We have a baseball bat and baseball, of course, and we have a whistle and the glove, the catcher's glove. So that's the full one that goes over the little kid because there's a lot of space around that. And then this one has just the medium 4-corner confetti. I really didn't want to cover up the victory field, so I didn't do like another border or something. And then this one I thought was fun. I made little corners out of the bats. And then this one is the quote. It says it's baseball season with the little border around that. So that can be used over that flat lay or again anywhere else. And then for the underlays, we have this different sized baseball design. So for page 3, we have the selection of headers. So we have the confetti right here. Here we have a mix of a different baseball cap, a bat and a whistle. And then here we have just the baseballs. These two overlays can be used over any of the many other full boxes available. So this one is like a border with the bats in there. And then this one is just crossed bats and a baseball in the middle. So you can have fun with that. And then here's the deco. So we have some larger like players here, a more detailed bat, and then the trophy. And then just icons of various sizes. We have bats. And then we have the tiny deco and then the tiny cluster. Alright, and then the washi page. Here we have the main design, which I thought was fun. It's kind of like there's bats, and then there's like the field, and then the ball being hit out of the field, and then another ball being hit out of the field, and then they kind of combine into a little heart baseball. I don't know, I just thought it was fun. And then here's the confetti, which I did keep very simple. I'm trying to do that a little bit more. And yeah, of course, there's the other usual stuff on this page, the date dots, weekend banner, tiny deco, and then dividers. And then the last page, which is the add-on page, is this page. So we have the tall box overlay, which is a border. This is another fun border that I don't think I've done for a tall box, but it has the little icons in the inner line. And then we have the big box overlay, which has the little baseball stitches in these corners. We have the double bats, and then we have a baseball player hitting the ball, and there's confetti. And then these two can kind of go over whatever. So we have the full color quote. And the quote I chose, of course, was "Who's on first?" because it's the funniest like skit based on, I think, baseball. I mean, it's got to be on baseball. Like, who's on first base? And I thought that would be really funny to include. So that's that. And then this is also a new type of overlay that I've kind of combined. So we have the confetti in the corners, and then we also have the border. So that's kind of a new design that I really like. And then we have the hole protectors with the various icons. And then I did take one of our third boxes and designed an overlay for that. So it's kind of like a confetti third box line border overlay, and then there's a little baseball bat resting in there. So that's the add-on sheet. So that is the home run collab. And then I also decided to do a generic baseball one for those of you who are maybe not using this specific kit. Maybe you have another baseball kit you want to use, which there are at least a couple that I've seen. I know the one from Cafe with Anna is back in her shop, so that is timely if you want to pick that up. And that version is mostly the same as the collab bundle, but there are a couple different pages. So for the first page, instead of like specific overlays, we just have the generic confetti overlays that I typically include with every foil bundle that's not a collab. And then the underlays remain the same, headers page remains the same, washi page remains the same, and then the add-on is the only different one. So we have these two that are the same overlays, and then we have two new ones. So this one is the double border one with the baseballs in there, and then another quote, "Hey batter, batter, swing." And then we have some swoops at the top. We have the full corners sheet, and then the full set of hole reinforcers. So that's the baseball bundle. So we have the baseball, which is generic, and then we have home run, which is specific for the collab. Also for the collab, I have an add-ons sheet, which is the quote overlays. These are specifically meant to go over the quote overlays that are in her kit. So she does have like some quotes that are just black, kind of baked into the patterned full boxes. I think she did offer all four of these as an option. So if you want to make those foiled instead of black, you can layer over these quotes. They should fit exactly if you line them up correctly, hopefully. But of course you can use these over anything. Just be aware that because of the way that she formatted them, the design does look a little bit cut off. So it's like either really close to the edge or like going over the edge a little bit, and because of my silhouette, it can cut off a couple millimeters on either side. So you will have to be a little more careful than usual lining it up. I wouldn't line it up with the bottom corner like you typically would. I would visually like just hover it over, like hover it like this, hover it over the sticker before placing it down, just to like line it up, and then I would just like press somewhere and then just press in all the rest around. That is what I would do. Right, so that is everything baseball related, and now we have the big old collection for the week, for the 6-month period that I have not done any collections. This is the long-awaited Snowflake release. It is enormous. This is my biggest collection to date because I was trying out a lot of new things, and I'm really pleased with how it all turned out. There's a lot of new stuff that I will be incorporating into collections going forward, so you can keep an eye out for that, and a lot of new like concepts that I introduced that makes this one of my favorite collections for sure. Okay, now that we've kind of got the washi in order, of which there is a ton, We have everything that we can kind of get going with. I will take off these random pieces that I'm going to use later when I show you the underlays laid down. So this is kind of everything we have. So as usual, we'll go ahead and start with the quarter boxes, which we will start with the underlays. As usual, ignore any black spots you see. These are only for this video, and any sheets with black spots will not be sent out as product. And I did foil this collection in mostly silver pixie dust because I thought that would be perfect for a snowflake theme. I know that it's a little bit late to be doing a snowflake theme, but I did want to do this for last year. And I know that like when I get around to planning winter time, I'm going to want to have a snowflake collection. So I just wanted it out and ready to go. And if you are back planning, especially if you're as behind as me, then I'd rather have this available for you guys too. Oh, also, since it's kind of St. Patrick's Day, I do have my themed bracelets on. This one I made myself. It's very bad. Do not look too closely at it. This is not what this type of bracelet should look like. I mean, the colors are correct, but all the knots are way too loose, so kind of ignore that. And then this one my kiddo made, which is very fun. So anyways, after all these sides, let's finally get into the collection. So the first underlay, of course, is the large pattern. So we have a bunch of larger snowflakes with the confetti dots, and then we have medium, which is more sparse. And then for the two extras, I did include these small variation, which is a bunch of small confetti dots, and then more sparsely scattered snowflakes throughout. So here you can see the small, medium, and large all next to each other, so you can kind of compare. And then there's two fun ones. One of them is the inverted one. This is the first ever inverted pattern that I've ever done, and I really love it. I think it's such a fun idea. And it's about time that I finally incorporate something like this in my shop. So it's like mostly full cover solid, and then there's some snowflakes and a pattern in there as well that you can kind of see a little better like that. There you go. So I love that pattern. And then we have the snowflake sweater, which was kind of a last minute addition, but I really wanted to do the like sweater pattern with snowflakes in it. The dots in the middle there are really tiny snowflakes. They just don't foil well because they're too small. But yeah, so there's two different types of snowflakes there. Alright, and then for most of these other sheets in the collection, I do have like more than one, where I usually would have one, so it's very exciting. Big Box has had two for a while though. So here's the Big Box border, which is also my first time doing this type of border. I know it may look very similar to the other ones I've done, but there are a couple things that I did differently. But I just love it. And then, of course, there's flags at the bottom. And then here's the confetti border, which is like the typical one. Or not the confetti border, the confetti Big Box overlay, which is the one that I've always offered. And then we have the tall box. So there's your two sizes of that. This is more like SPC and crest press size. This is more glam planner size. And then we have two double box scene sheets. We have the classic confetti at the top of this one, and then we have just a snowfall one with the snowflakes in it. And then there's sheet 2, which is the border, which is kind of the same as the Big Box. And then we have the dangling snowflakes with like little garlands and drops in that as well. I don't know why I went over that before going over the confetti full box overlays, but here we are. Here's the full confetti full box overlays, which has stuff in all four corners and all four sides. And then we have medium 4 corner, medium 3 corner, and then medium 2 corner. But then we have the small 4 corner, which we'll do a little comparison so you can see how much smaller it is than the medium. Not too much smaller. Small 3 corner and small 2 corner. And then we have the line border overlays. So these are sized to fit the SPC, the half boxes, thirds, and quarters, and basically everything else. But they may be able to fit other shops' boxes. So here are the half box designs, the third box designs, quarter, square, and then the movie marquee overlay specifically for SPC, and then the inner movie marquee overlay. And then there's 2 lines I like to use on fancy labels. Quotes, there's a ton of quotes. There's 4, 2 quote box overlays, and then 2 sampler sheets. So here's quote boxes number 1, 2 with the confetti around them. We have I'm a winter kind of girl, and then hot cocoa and fuzzy socks, and then 2 without the confetti. So slay all day and warm and cozy. And then sheet 2 is kind of the same format. We have but first hot cocoa, bring on the cozy, and then cozy winter vibes, and then happy winter days. And then quote sampler 1. I think this is 1, yeah. So I'm not going to read every single one of these because we would be here all day, but you can kind of see. And then I filled it in with snowflakes, Kiss Cut snowflakes, whenever I had room. So that's sheet 1, and that's sheet 2. I think these 3, maybe, were also on the quotes sheet, but they're available as quote sampler, I guess contour quotes on this sheet. And then full box overlays, we also have a ton. We have 3, whereas usually we'd have just 1. So here is the regular sheet. We have the snowfall here. We have the border here. We have this type of border with the interior snowflakes. And then we have some deer with like a snowflake outline. That's very cool. Page 2 is just different versions of the border. So we have this border, which is different from this one. You can see this is just the half snowflakes on the border, and this is the full snowflakes. So this is that kind of border all the way around. This is just in the 2 corners. And then this is just the border with the snowflakes on the outside of the corners. And then this last one, I decided to kind of make that big box border overlay into singular full box overlays as well. So you have that as a double box scene, the big box, and full box overlays if you want. So there's the 2 versions of that. And then also we have the snowflakes with the garland as this one, and then the hanging bow snowflakes as this one. So there's a ton of options. Alright, and then we'll go into the smaller sheets, starting with the headers. We have just the regular headers here. This is called snowflakes. And then we have the confetti ones, which is very tiny and dainty. And then we have the half snowflake border on the top and bottom. That's going to look really cool. And then here are the hole protectors. So there are, I think, 18 on each sheet. So it should be more than 1 spread's worth, but you need to get 2 of those sheets if you want to have, I think, 3 spreads worth. Okay. And then next, for the 6 sheets, we do have a ton of these as well. I think every option that normally would have 1 has 2. Okay, so first we have the deco, which you may recognize this sheet from the Advent from 2 years ago. I just was able to reuse the same sheet and finally bring it available to shop. I was kind of waiting until I did the Snowflake collection to have this available, since pretty much all of the other sheets from the Advent are already available in shop. So this is the Snowflake cluster deco. So we have like singular snowflakes, and then snowflakes with little confetti dots around them, and then little clusters of snowflakes. There's some with like 3, some with 2. So there you go. And then teeny tiny clusters at the bottom. Super cute. Super versatile. And then the second deco sheet is, here comes the cat again, is basically like snowfall deco or snowbank deco. I don't know what to call it. This is just snow deco. So these can be used on top of full boxes. I didn't want to include these as full box overlays or anything like that because they are a little bit wider than your standard full box because they're meant to be kind of draped on top. So I'll give you an example with the only kit that I have in front of me. So you can see here with this one, it does extend a little bit beyond because it's meant to be like that. It can extend a little bit into your like glitter headers if you use those above. So if you're going to use a couple of these, I would make sure to leave the glitter headers blank and not covered up with any other foil, or to maybe like the lightest of confetti so that it doesn't like kind of ruin the design and basically make you waste a header. So if you're using the big one like that, if you're using like a smaller one like this one, it's going to be a little bit more subtle like that. But that's kind of my thought process with that. And then these teenier ones, can be used to just like go over like one corner or in the middle. And these are specifically meant for the corners like that. And then this long one at the top, it looks like it's 2 pieces. It's actually one continuous sticker because it's meant to go over the double box scene as it is laid down on the paper. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these real quick so I can show you, because this is how at least my planner and I think most standard planners are spaced out. So you can see that it goes off just a little bit off the edge as it's laid down right here, and then this kind of stops in the right place. So it is like one continuous design, but it's just for ease of use, it's one strip. You can see the cut lines that they have a little swoop down there, and then they keep going. I thought that was a really fun idea. I might incorporate more of that until I start getting messages that, oh, it doesn't work in my planner because my planner has a space of 1 or 2 millimeters wider than yours between the columns. So I don't know. It'll work until it doesn't. I mean, you can cut it apart. You can literally cut it apart. It's not hard. It's just ease of use for people who use that type of planner, I guess. Mine is from OK Plans, by the way. I always get my planners from OK Plans, including my mock planner, which is that one. Then we have dividers. So here's the standard divider sheet. I did not make this top one 1.5 inches width because I just thought it didn't really work with the design. But this one can still be used pretty much anywhere else you would use a divider. So there's a big one, and then we have the small confetti one, which is basically the same as on the headers sheet. And then these half confetti, or not half snowflake designs are also kind of similar to the headers. And then there's this one with just the dots in between them, and then these simple line dividers right there. And then it's mirrored on that side. And then the second divider option is the half snowflakes. So we have the typical half snowflake dividers here, and then we have a different design there. We have a bigger one here, and then there's individual half snowflakes. And I think those are 4 unique designs at the top, and then there's 4 designs for the smaller ones, plus that one is repeated. So you can just use those wherever you would like as kind of deco. And then for corners, we have the standard corners sheet. Again, ignore that. Blech. So we have the medium corners, 2 sets of those. These are like contour cut corners, so you can use them wherever. I like to use these on like half boxes too. And then we have like a smaller version, and then we have the teeny tiny ones that just have like little sparkles around them, and then we have the like photo corner ones. And then we have the fun corners sheet, which has a bunch of the other like snowflake and half snowflake designs. So we have this one, which is kind of like the one on the full box overlays sheet, which is the half snowflakes in the corners. And there's like, I think a couple versions of that design, if I'm not mistaken. So there's like the big one right here, and then it's kind of shrunk down to be a smaller one down here. But then I think this design is different because it has like this one is not shrunk down. I just stopped the number of snowflakes, like cut it off at a certain point. So they're still like kind of the same size as that one, but there's fewer of them. And then we have these outside ones with just 1 snowflake on the outside of the corner. So these can be used on like the outside of full boxes, like that, if we're just looking at that one on the outside, or you can use them on the interior of them, like that. And then we have these with the snowflake on the inside of the corner, and these also can be used with your imagination. So you can use them on the interior or right up against the corner like that. So we have the bigger size and then the smaller size. And then I just had room for at the bottom for like another kind of divider situation. This was created uniquely for this sheet though. So it's like the daintiest divider imaginable, and then little snowflake right there. So that's the decorative corners sheet. And then dangles, we have the standard dangles. And then we have the hanging bow snowflake dangles. These 2 are the exact same. And then this third row, the little string is cut off shorter, and it's shrunk a little tiny bit. And then for the swoops, we have the standard 2 sheets. So we have the mini swoops here, and then the wider swoops here. Okay, so those are all of the 6 sheets. And then next we have the washi, which again is huge. I think I have 17 individual washies. forget whether that's including the 32mm or not, but I believe the travel collection was the other one that had like 18. So these are the two biggest washi collections in any collection that I've done so far, because I went ham. And that was because I did like a million different skylines. This one is just like every possible design you could imagine with like one icon, or one type of icon, which is Snowflake. So we have the very basic Snowflake one, just alternating snowflakes across the design. I don't know why this is snuck in here. That needs to be saved for later. And then we have Snowflake confetti. This is like full cover confetti, which I have never done before. It was suggested by a customer, but I also think I was going to do it anyway, because I've seen this in other shops and I have never offered anything like this. But it's like full cover tiny confetti of little snowflakes, and there's twinkles in there too. And then we have the full cover snowflakes. So these are a little bit bigger, and it does like cut them off at a certain point. And then here's the inverted version of that. So if you don't want to use the inverted underlays, you can still have that pattern available as washi. And these are the exact same. So it would be really cool if you used this on the bottom washi and this one on the top one. And then we have the garland, of course. And then I have quote washi for the first time, like ever, offering it in a collection. These are kind of meant to be more examples. You can order these specific ones, of course, but these are meant to be examples because they do have custom quote washi available in shop as well. I think this was a limited edition quote from last quarter. This one is not in shop yet. It's a little sneak preview. And then this one was also from last quarter, maybe the quarter before that. I don't know. These are just kind of examples. But if you like request me to do, if you like choose a quote washi and then you tell me that you want the snowflakes around it, like in the Snowflake collection, I can do that. Just whatever. I can pretty much do whatever for you, especially if you order a custom listing. So this first quote is "Snowflakes are kisses from heaven," and this is with the like snow font. That's quote 1. I do have like in the listing, when you choose like quote 1, I have like a little snippet of the quote next to it in the drop down, so you can kind of tell easier that way. Next one is "Winter wishes and snowflake kisses," and a cute little cursive. And then "'Tis the season to be cozy," and this is my like typewriter font, which for some reason I just really associate with winter, so it works. All right, and then next we have the bow hanging snowflake washi, which I did sneak on Instagram. I just love this like bow type. I did hanging bows for I think the Easter, maybe Valentine's Day, I forget. For all the collections that I have like a hanging icon, I don't always do bows. Some of them have bows and some don't. It's so random. But this one just looks perfect with the snowflakes. And then this, of course, can be the full box overlay. It's like contour cut. And then we have the half snowflake, of course. I did a half spider web for the spider web one. So, of course, we need a half snowflake. And then the simple line. And I do offer simple lines without any icon here, so you can just take one from whatever collection you're using, like the deco sheet, and just put one in there. But for your convenience, I have this one all made up. And now we have the washi strips. Actually, before we go into the strips, let's just finish off the 15mm. So we have the classic confetti. So this is like the confetti that kind of does a swoop at the bottom instead of like the full cover confetti. Which, here's a little comparison. Obviously this one is a lot more sparse. And I do try to put these in the listing like in the way that kind of makes the most sense, because for some reason I have never once in my life changed out the headings or like the titles on these sheets to be like what the name of the specific washi is, and I don't know why I don't do that, because there's clearly plenty of room. Maybe starting next collection I'll do that so you can see it in like the listing photo, but I don't know. I try to work the listing so that you can still tell very easily. And then we have the 10 and 7mm if you have a glam planer kit or any other kit that uses triplicated bottom washi. So here's the 10mm option, and then the 7, which is the same as the confetti header. Okay, and then we have the washi strips, which I did more of this collection than I usually do. Usually I just do the garland strips. These are all the width of the longest 15 millimeter bottom washi strip. So they can be used as that, and there's 2 of each, so you can use this one for that and then cut this one to the length of the shorter one, or you can just use these literally wherever. You can chop them up and use them in a bunch of full boxes, half boxes, whatever. You can use them across the top. You can just do whatever you want with these. So yeah, we have the 2 garland designs. We have this one with the bigger swoop, and then this one, which is a lot smaller, a lot more dainty. And then I did this one, which was a labor of love, and I'm obsessed with it. So you already saw a sneak of this early in the collection, but the first thing I did with this design was the washi. So I did the little hanging snowflakes, but then I also did the garlands at the top and the little drops. So the garlands have there's 2 thicknesses of the solid line right there, you can see that, and then there's also a dotted line as well, which is super fun. And then the little drops, again, have 2 sizes, and then there's a dotted drop as well. So this is the prettiest and most dainty thing I think I've ever done. And I really want to, I've saved this as a separate layer so I can add more hanging elements for future collections instead of just snowflakes. But it's really gorgeous. And this does, again, go all the way across. So this will fit in the washi. But again, you can chop this up however you would like. And then lastly, of course, I did the kind of snowfall design for the washi as well. Looks like we have a little extra sticking off the sheet here. So this, I kind of did both options on one sheet because it's so skinny that you can kind of fit more. So this set here is meant for the short and the long bottom washi. And again, it's a little bit bigger than said washi, so it is meant to go off the edge a little bit. So there's the shorter one, and then there's the longer one. And then I did the 2 longer strips that are typical of washi strips for the bottom too. So you can kind of cut those up if you want, and if you do want to cut them up, it doesn't have to be a solid line. You can do kind of a curved cut to kind of make it blend in. You can get creative with that. Oh, and then of course there's the one for the full box right there because I had room to do that. And then for the 32 millimeter, I just have the giant snowflakes. I really wanted to incorporate giant snowflakes somewhere so that you'd be able to see the actual pattern of the snowflakes, because this one gets shrunk down so much in the rest of the collection that you can't even see what it's supposed to look like. So that's what that snowflake is actually supposed to look like. But yeah, I really love this design as well. And then we have some loose deco pieces there. So there's that. And then finally, we'll go over the bundle. So here is the snowflake bundle. For the first page, we have the confetti overlays. We have 2 full, 2 medium 4-corner, 2 medium 2-corner, and then the double box scene. If you leave a note to a seller, I can switch out the double box scene to whatever you want. I pretty much do whatever if you leave a note to seller. I have not met a request that is too unreasonable yet. And then we have the underlays. Again, this is the large for example purposes, but you can choose from the other 3 main underlays in the collection. Which, since I did do an extra 5th one, I usually leave that out because of the format of the listing. I can't include it. So the sweater one will be separate, but you can choose any of these 4 when you buy the bundle. You can also just get it without underlays and then buy these a la carte if you want to do that. One day I might reformat the listing to have a 5 underlay option, but right now there's I think almost 400 variations of that I have to individually work with just the 4, because I offer it in 2 sizes, add-on or no add-on, unfoiled, and then 46 foil colors on top of that, which means that all the foil colors have to be different because they're different prices. It's just kind of a nightmare. So yeah, it's just crazy. So one day I'll sit down for a couple hours and make sure that there's a listing option for the 5 underlays, maybe 6 if I want to do that in the future, but right now this is kind of how I would suggest you do that. But yeah, if you do get the mini kit, it does not include the underlays. So then we have the headers page, which has all 3 headers, but again, leave me a note to seller and I can do only one. I can do whatever combination you want. I have a lot of people who just get the confetti headers. I have some people who get mostly confetti, and then the bottom 2 are one of the fun ones for the sidebar. Those are pretty much the only 2 combos that I got, but you can do whatever. You can get all of them with this snowflake. Just let me know. try to use the listing names from the headers listing so I know exactly what you're talking about instead of having to guess, because they're all snowflakes. So either use confetti, snowflakes, or I think snowflake border is what I called that. Half snowflake border maybe. But yeah. But the default is all 3 of these, just like this. There's 9 of those, 8 of these. Then we have your 2 quotes on this page. I try to include one full cover and one with just the quote. And then the cluster decos right here. And then the bottom washi page, again, leaving it up to seller. I can do whatever washi combo you want, but the default is kind of the most basic option. So you have the most basic top one and then the confetti bottom one. And then the add-on sheet is actually fun over here because these are all 4 completely unique overlays that you cannot find anywhere else in the collection. I had so many ideas for overlays that I just kind of went crazy. So we do have the corner ones that you can see on the decorative corners sheet, but I did like bake them into an actual overlay, so just for convenience. Then we have the half snowflakes. These are a little bit bigger than the ones available on the dividers sheet, but we have those there. And then I did the Hello Winter quote with that particular type of snowflake, and then I did the confetti corner plus border that I did first for the home run collab, and decided to start incorporating it into collections. So that's that one there. And then as usual, we have our swoops up here, full set of corners. If you ask me to switch it out with the decorative corners, I can do that. And then the whole reinforcers there. Super cute. So that is the snowflake bundle. Again, it's offered in a mini without underlays and an ultimate with the underlays of your choice. Actually, if you leave me a note to seller, I could probably just do the sweater underlays for you too. Like at this point, just whatever. I am at your beck and call in terms of stickers. So it's also available unfoiled and available in any of the 46 foil colors available in shop, plus the 3 seasonal limited edition foils. And it is also available as a printable or a physical. You can get printable, just the bundle with the large underlays. You can get the printable bundle with all of the underlay options. And then, of course, you can get the entire collection as a printable as well. They do go up in price depending on if they are bigger collections than usual. So this one is the biggest collection I've had to date. So it's the priciest, but it doesn't go up by too much. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, that is pretty much all of the new releases for the past few days. Just a recap, we have the solid doodles for the first time. I don't know why I said solid. It's not foiled, like printed. I don't know. This type of doodles for the first time. A bunch of new border overlays. We have the home run collab bundle. We have the generic baseball bundle. And then we have the entire humongous snowflake collection available. Next week's, or I guess later this week's releases are going to be a little bit sparse. I have another collab coming up with my usual collab partner, which will be very exciting. And then after that, I think I'm going to probably take it chill, and everything that I design after that I will save for my Shopiversary sale, which will be on April 1st. So keep an eye out for that. So that is it for this video. Oh, hang on. I forgot to actually show you the underlays laid down, which I'm glad I remembered this before I stopped filming so I don't have to stitch together too much. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show you each of the underlays for the snowflake collection laid down as an example. I used to do a whole mock spread with all of the stickers, but I decided to stop doing that because it was a huge pain and I don't think it was super useful for y'all. Anyway, this is the inverted underlays over the matte silver background, which you can barely tell that it's even there. So I decided I wasn't going to do that. I was just going to try using the light blue instead. So we're going to do that as a nice change of pace. So let's see. Got our light blue solid, and then we'll do this inverted one right here, so you can actually see the design properly. There we go. That's what it should look like. That way you can clearly see the snowflakes, and that is super pretty. Alright, next we'll do the others. I will put the sweater one on this page before we go into the next page. So there's the sweater. And then we'll put down the large. And then the small. And then the medium. And of course I forgot to grab some labels, so I'll be right back. Well, there were not a ton of options for me to grab quickly, so we're just gonna figure this out as we go. So I think we'll use this color for over that one, plus a couple of little things. As usual with the fancier underlays, it's best to use sparse boxes so that you can see the design a little better behind it. And then we'll do this for the sweater, which I would probably use like a square box with. And then here is the large. The large is the one that I would use the most boxes with because it's kind of meant for that purpose. And then the small is basically functionally very similar to the large in this instance. I don't usually do the small version for collections, but I wanted it for myself. So there's that, and then I'll finish up with the medium. Oops. Definitely did not cut that one right. We're gonna use it anyway. All right. So there you go. Large, small, medium. The reason I wanted the small for myself is because I wanted it to be mostly very sparse confetti, because that's going to be my new like underlay default, but I wanted there to be a few times where you could see snowflakes peeking through just to give a little hint of the theme. So that's why I wanted it for me. I freaking love like the sweater pattern and the inverted and stuff, but I'm going to leave that to y'all to use because I find that when I have those in spreads, it just makes it way too busy. But yeah, there's the sweater and then the inverted all covered up. So there you go. Now we're officially at the end of the video. I know it's been a really long video because there's a lot of new releases. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to like, comment, subscribe, and share, that would be wonderful. And I will see you in my next video. Ciao, ciao.